If you follow soccer, you know the feeling. Predicting a match is this wild mix of art, intuition, and, well, let's be honest, a whole lot of luck. But what if we could actually shift that balance? What if we could move away from just pure guesswork and lean into some real, hard science? That, right there, is the entire promise behind a new tool called Zcorecast.
I mean, think about it. How many times have you relied on a gut feeling for a huge match? Or maybe you've trusted some prediction service that just spits out a result with zero explanation behind it. It's so frustrating, right? Especially when a prediction just doesn't pass the eye test. Because you know there's way more to the story.
And this really captures the massive shift we're talking about. We're leaving behind that old world of just hot takes and these complete mystery algorithms. Instead, we're moving into a new era where it's your analysis, backed by totally transparent science, that puts you firmly in the driver's seat.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start by really digging into the core prediction problem. Then we'll look at the science that powers a solution, see how you can build your own custom model, explore some truly professional-grade features, and then finally help you find your own unique winning angle. All right, first up, Section 1, the prediction problem. For decades, fans like us have had to choose between our own hunches and these really opaque prediction services. You know, the core issue has always been a lack of trust and transparency, and that is the exact problem Zcorecast was built to solve. Now, let's get into the good stuff in Section 2, moving from guesswork to science. So how does Zcorecast actually deliver on this promise? This is where we get to look under the hood at the technology. I want you to think of it as your own personal soccer laboratory, one that's built not on opinions, but on proven, solid statistical methods. And what's really important to know is that this isn't based on some secret, made-up formula. Nope. The entire system is built on the Dixon-Coles model, which is a seriously respected framework in sports analytics. At its core, it's just a statistical method that's incredibly good at measuring a team's attacking and defensive strengths compared to their opponents. This gives a credible, scientific backbone to every single forecast. And it uses that model to run what are called Monte Carlo simulations. Now, that might sound super complex, but the idea is actually pretty simple. Instead of just giving you one prediction, the system basically plays the match virtually, thousands of times, all based on the inputs you provided. This maps out a whole spectrum of possibilities, showing you the exact percentage chance of every likely outcome, not just what one person thinks is going to happen. This brings us right to the heart of the platform in Section 3, Build Your Custom Model. And this, right here, is where Zcorecast truly stands apart. It's all founded on this core principle that your deep soccer knowledge is incredibly valuable, and it gives you the tools to turn that expertise into a real, quantifiable, predictive edge. So this is where you get to model your unique insights. You can start with the standard metrics, sure, like chance creation or finishing quality, but the real power, the real magic, comes from adding your own custom factors. You know, all those little nuances that traditional models completely miss, like the fatigue from a tough midweek European match, or the psychological pressure on a manager who might be fighting for their job. But check this out. Here's the real game changer: granular control. You don't just say a factor is important. Look at this table. You actually define a rating range with minimum and maximum values. And let me tell you, this is huge. It's huge because it lets you model a team's real-world inconsistency. You know, the difference between them showing up for a big game and just having a total off day. And after you've done all that, you're not left guessing. The platform's key factor analysis actually breaks down the results for you, showing you exactly which of your inputs had the biggest impact on the final numbers. It's all about total transparency, so you always understand the why behind every single prediction. Okay, so once you've built your custom model, you can start to unlock even more powerful tools. That brings us to Section 4, gaining the professional edge. This is where Zcorecast really goes beyond being just a simple prediction tool and gives you access to some truly advanced analytical features. It all starts from this core belief: your detailed analysis, the stuff based on your deep understanding of the teams, the tactics, the players, that is incredibly powerful. But at the same time, we have to acknowledge that the collective wisdom of the betting markets, which, represents thousands of different opinions and models, that's also a really powerful force. So that begs the question, right? Why on earth should you be forced to choose between your own detailed analysis and the wisdom of the crowd? And the answer is, you don't have to. Zcorecast's solution is this brilliant market influence slider that lets you blend the market's odds directly into your own model. You can lean 100% on your own analysis, or you can use the market as a kind of reality check. This creates an unbelievably robust prediction that literally combines the best of both worlds.
The platform also lets you simulate very specific scenarios. You ever get a hunch that a match is just destined to be a high-scoring thriller? Well, you can run it in GoalFest mode. Or maybe you're worried a game is on a knife's edge and could be decided by a totally random event? Introduce the chaos factor to see how things like weird deflections or a sudden red card could completely change the outcome.
So, with all these amazing features, who is this actually for? Let's dive into our final section, number 5, Find Your Winning Angle. We're going to look at how these tools can give a real, tangible edge to every single kind of soccer enthusiast out there. See, the platform is designed for a really broad audience, just because its tools are so incredibly flexible. We're talking about the serious sports bettor who's always looking for value, the dedicated fantasy manager trying to optimize their squad, the keen tactical analyst, and yeah, even the soccer purist who just wants to understand the beautiful game on a much deeper level. And here you can see the specific advantage each type of user gets. For a bettor, it's about shifting from just pure gambling to more of an investment-style approach. For a fantasy manager, it means making those crucial roster decisions based on hard data, not just hunches. And for an analyst, it's a powerful way to finally test out tactical theories with real statistical rigor.
Ultimately, the output you get is just so much more than a simple win-draw-loss prediction. Each simulation gives you a full analytical package, a detailed probability breakdown, the most likely scorelines, over-under analysis, and even a fair odds calculation without any bookmaker's margin baked in. It's a full suite of actionable data, whatever your purpose is.
This quote, right here, really captures the entire philosophy. It's this perfect cycle of empowerment. It all starts with your unique analysis, it gets processed by your custom simulation, and that ultimately leads to your victory, however you choose to define it. It's a really clear call to action. The message is simple. Stop putting your faith in these mysterious black box algorithms. It's time to take the tools into your own hands and start building a real, tangible, explainable edge. So we'll leave you with this one question. Now that you've seen how it's actually possible to combine your own expertise with powerful, transparent science, aren't you ready to completely revolutionize the way you approach soccer predictions?